All right, we're gonna go ahead and continue this. It's gonna be the second portion to this this activity. So we've already determined the critical points, extrema, the intervals increasing, decreasing, the points of inflection, and we've also determined where it's concave and concave down. Okay, so it says sketch the graph of y without a calculator. So what I was saying before is that there's some things that you need to consider. That if you go back to the video for note card 42, it's asking for the domain and range, and it's also asking you to consider the x and y intercepts and any vertical or horizontal asymptotes. So if you look at this function, it doesn't have any vertical or horizontal asymptotes, and the domain, since it's a polynomial, if you kind of simplify it, rewrite it this form, it doesn't have any points in which it's undefined. So the domain is all real numbers, and in this case the range is also real numbers because it's odd. Okay, so the leading degree is odd, so that makes the range all real numbers. So you really don't have to worry about that. So what I am suggesting is that you figure out the values of your where you have horizontal tangents. So this is your min and this is your max. So if you plug in your -1 and 1 into your original function, you'll figure out what your max and mins are. So we already actually did that before. So what you can do is you can go to your graph, you can make your coordinate plane, and since we know that on the previous video we figured out when we plug in 1 we get a 0, okay, so when we plug in 1 we get a 0, and when we plug in -1 we get -4/3. So -4/3 is a little bit after this one, so we're going to have a point there. And so that's our max and mins, okay? And then we're also going to figure out our points of inflection. So the only point of inflection that we have is 0, -2/3. So 0, -2/3 is actually here. So it turns out that this y-intercept is also the points of inflection that we had before, okay? And then from there we can kind of start graphing it. So if you notice here, before -1 we're decreasing, and before 0 we're concave up. So we're going to be concave up from anywhere to the left all the way to 0. Okay, and so let's go ahead and start graphing that. Okay, so here we're going to start on this side, and we're going to be all the way here to this point. Okay, so we're decreasing and we're concave up. So we can start anywhere here up to this point, and then that's our minimum, and then after that we know we're concave up, but this time we're increasing after -1. Okay, so based on a number line we're increasing, so this here is a horizontal tangent, so at this point is also a point of inflection, so that means we're going to change concavity here, so we're concave down. Okay, and then it also says that we're going to continue decreasing and we're going to be continuing being concave down. Okay, so there you go. This is your function. It's just a sketch, but we try to make it as accurate as we can be with figuring out the other key points that we figured out before. Okay.